Single sampling plan, we either accept the lot or reject or rectify the lot on the basis of single sample, and therefore that sampling procedure is known as acceptance single sampling plan. Now, situation may arise where you may not be able to take a decision on the basis of single sample. You may require another sample. So in such situation, the sampling plan which is used is known as double sampling. As the name suggests, we need two sample to arrive at a decision, and therefore that sampling procedure is known as double sampling. So in this particular presentation, we are going to discuss acceptance sampling, in particular double sampling. A double sampling plan in which under certain circumstances situation a second sample is required before a decision about acceptance or rejection of lot is taken. Okay, so we may not able to reject the lot or accept the lot on the basis of first sample. So there are two situations as far as this sampling plan is concerned, right? The starting point of single sampling as well as double sampling plan is same. You draw one sample from the lot which is given, which is presented for the inspection. Now we count the number of defective units in the first sample. We compare this number, that is number of defectives, with certain acceptance criteria. Now on the basis of this, if the criteria is satisfied, we will accept the lot. So we may not require the second sample. Similar situation will be where the acceptance criteria is not satisfied, then we will reject the lot or we will send that lot to the rectification. So again you may not require the second sample, but situation may arise where you may not able to accept the lot or reject the lot. So in other words, lot is not too bad, not too good, and therefore to arrive at a decision we have to draw a second sample, and that is nothing but your double sampling, right? So the double sampling plan is used when a clear decision about acceptance or rejection of a lot cannot be taken on the basis of single sample. In double sampling plan, generally the decision of acceptance or rejection of a lot is taken on the basis of two samples, and therefore that this sampling plan is known as double sampling plan. If the first sample is bad, then the lot may be rejected on the first sample, and we may not require the second sample, and that's why I have written there, and a second sample need not be drawn. If the first sample is good, the lot may be accepted on the first sample, and again second sample is not needed, which I have already told you. But if the first sample is neither good or bad, that means there is a doubt about its result, we take a second sample, and the decision of acceptance or rejection of a lot is taken on the basis of evidence obtained from both the first and second sample. What it means that if you draw first sample, that is your first sample, if you accept, the procedure will stop there. If you reject, again the procedure will terminate there. But the first sample, the information from the first sample, you are not able to accept the lot or reject the lot. So that means you are not able to reach a decision on the basis of information obtained from the first sample. Then in such situation we draw a second sample. So now you have first sample as well as the second sample. Now information obtained from these two samples, that means the first sample as well as the second sample, will be used to arrive at a decision whether to accept the lot or reject the lot, and that's why this whole sampling plan is known as double sampling plan. Double sampling plan is defined by naturally four parameters. First is size of the first sample, then the acceptance number for the first sample, then size of the second sample if of course the second sample is needed, and acceptance number for both samples combined. As I said, from if you draw a second sample, you will now have a first sample as well as the second sample, and therefore the information obtained from the both the sample, and therefore acceptance number is again for both the samples combined. So how to implement double sampling plan, right? So this is the procedure. Suppose a lot of same size capital N are received from the supplier and submitted for inspection one at a time. So lot, the size is capital N, is presented for inspection. So as the sampling plan indicates, we will first the count the number of defective. First we will draw a sample, single sample, that is draw a random sample of size n1, right, from the lot of size n. So the first sample is drawn, the size of the first sample is n1. We inspect each and every unit of the sample, classify it as defective or non-defective. In the step 2 we will do this particular procedure. Then we will count the number of defective units found in the sample, right? Once we count the number of defective units, we will compare this number of defective units with the acceptance number, first acceptance number denoted by C1. Suppose the number of defective units found in the sample is D1. So D1 is indicating the number of defective units found in the first sample. So this D1 will be compared with the first acceptance number denoted by C1. So if D1 is less than equal to C1, we will accept the lot. Another situation may be D1 is greater than C2. C2 is the acceptance number for both the sample. Please remember that. So if D1, that is number of defective units found in the sample, are greater than that acceptance number, we will straight away reject the lot. We will send the lot for the rectification, where all the defective units in the lot will be replaced by non-defective units. In both the situation, we will not need second sample. But one situation may be there, which is nothing but D1 lies between C1 and C2. In other words, if C1 is less than D1, less than equal to C2. In such situation, we will neither able to accept the lot or we will not able to reject the lot also. And therefore, the second sample of size N2 from the remaining lot will be drawn. Again, the second sample, for the second sample, we will inspect each and every unit as far as that second sample is concerned. Then we will count the number of defective units found in the second sample. Suppose the number of defective units found in the sample is D2. Now please remember that the number of defective units found in the first sample is denoted by D1, whereas number of defective units found in the sample are now D2. Therefore, the combined number of defective units, that is D1 and D2, found in both the samples are D1 plus D2, right? So D1 plus D2 will indicate the number of defective units found in both the samples, that is sample 1 as well as sample 2. So now we will use this number D1 and D2 for the comparison purpose. If D1 plus D2 is less than equal to C2, then we will accept the lot and replace all the defective units found in the second sample of course, by non-defective units. So in this situation we will accept the lot. And again, if D1 plus D2 is greater than C2, then we will reject the lot or we will send the lot for inspection, where entire lot is inspected and all the defective units in the lot are replaced by non-defective units. So this is a flow chart indicating that particular sampling plan. Here you can see that we are drawing a sample, first sample of size N1 from the lot of size N. Here each unit is inspected and will be classified as defective or non-defective as far as the first sample is concerned. The number of defective units are denoted by D1 suppose. Then this D1 will be compared with the first number, that is C1, right? So if D1 is less than equal to C1, you will accept the entire lot, and of course the number of units, defective units in the first sample will be replaced by the non-defective items, but we will not touch rest of the item as far as the lot is concerned, because we are accepting the lot. Now we will compare D1 again with the C2 also. If D1 is greater than C2, then actually the lot is rejected. That means the lot is sent to the rectification, where all the defective units in the lot, not in the sample only but in the whole lot, are replaced by the non-defective units. So this is the situation where we have drawn the first sample, that is D1. But there is a situation, as I said, where D1 lies between C1 and C2. That is, if C1 is less than D1 is less than equal to C2. This is the third situation. In such situation, for this particular situation, we draw a second random sample of size n2, and then again we will count the number of defective units in this particular sample, which is denoted by D2. Now D1 plus D2 is compared with the C2, that is acceptance number for the combined sample, that is sample 1 as well as sample 2. So D1 plus D2 may be less than C2 or may be greater than C2. So if D1 plus D2 is less than equal to C2, we will accept the lot. Of course, by replacing all the defective units in the sample, already in the sample, in the sense that sample 1 as well as sample 2, we will replace all the defective units in both the sample by non-defective units, and we will accept the lot. Please again remember that we will just replace the number of defective units in the sample 1 as well as sample 2, and we will accept the entire lot. But if D1 plus D2 is greater than C2, that means the lot is rejected or sent to rectification, where whole lot is again inspected. All the defective units in the sample are in the lot are replaced by non-defective units, and then whole lot is accepted. So that is basically the double sampling plan, right? So